This is Sean, and in this video I want to talk about how I unload my dump truck with my mini bobcat. So this is how we usually or used to unload, is into a wheelbarrow, and this works pretty well, but it still requires a lot of heavy lifting, as you can imagine. A really good way to unload the dump truck with the mini bobcat is shown here. And so you keep the tailgate closed and you put the dump truck bed up a little bit. And what happens is when you come in here and you take a scoop out, what happens is the dirt that's in there starts to fall down and fill in the space where you were just digging. And so take a look right there at that dirt. It's just about to break loose and fall down. And when that falls down, that gives you now room for your next scoop to come in and get that next scoop. Dump truck right now, and I'm positioning the bed a little bit higher for my next scoop. So you can see you need to be really careful that you don't put it up too high, that the material slams down into the back of the tailgate. And so here you can really see, in order to make this work, what you have to do is curl the bucket down and then slam it into the bottom of the bed, and then move forward while you're curling and while you're lowering the arms of the bucket. And so that allows the material to flow into the bucket, and you can get a really good scoop like you see here. Here in this clip I've got one of my newest workers, and she doesn't have a whole lot of experience running that mini bobcat, but she saw me taking all these scoops out of the back of this thing and she wanted to give it a try. And so I was trying my best to explain it to her, but see what happens here is she curls the bucket and she doesn't put the arms down. And so I wasn't doing a very good job of explaining how it was done, but you really have to get that movement all together at once for it to take a scoop correctly. Here's another view of the scoop. So you put the bucket straight down, you smash it into the bed of the truck, lift up the skid steer with it, and then as you move forward you curl and you lower the arms at the same time. And so you can see in the background there that gravel is just falling right in there to replace what you just took out, and that will be available for your next scoop. So let's take a view, let's take a first person bucket view of how that works. One of the problems I do have with this method is on the big dump truck, which is right here, the tailgate flexes just a little bit and a gap opens up, and so look at that pile of gravel under there that forms. Every time I reach in there, a little bit of gravel spills out of the bottom of the tailgate. And so we were working on this project today, and when I got home I had a little bit of daylight left, and so I went ahead and I welded in a piece of angle iron. So let's take a look at that. And I'm hoping that that's going to stop that gravel from leaking out and having to clean it up. One of the problems with using the skid steer to unload the dump truck is that gravel will fall from here. So this bends just a little bit, this tailgate, and so that's what I'm working on right now. I want to try and address that. And I think what I'm going to do to address that is to put a piece of angle iron, just weld a piece of angle iron on there, and hopefully that'll stiffen it up and it will keep that gap from opening up right there. So that's what I'm going to do right now is get that welded on. Now I built this tailgate. I bought this truck, it was a flatbed and it dumped, and I had these sides built and I had a tailgate built, and the guy just completely ripped me off. He had this unusable tailgate, so I built this and designed this, and it's been working really well. So I think we just need to add that piece of angle iron on there. In this clip I'm just getting my piece of angle iron tacked in place, and you can see the bucket of my mini skid steer right there to the right. I tried to put a little bit of pressure on that tailgate to try to straighten it out just a little bit, And then when I did my welds, I welded it quite a bit across there to try and really use that angle not only to fill the gap in so the gravel doesn't leak out, but also to stiffen the tailgate so it doesn't flex as bad. Alright, so that should provide a little lip to help keep the gravel and stuff from falling through. Okay, so hopefully that will also stiffen up that tailgate a little bit and keep it from flexing so much. So that's looking really good. So I hope that gave you a couple ideas on how to unload your dump truck with a mini skid steer. And that it makes it a really good way to not only unload the material but have it in the bucket, and you can now take it to different parts of the job and get the job done. So I hope you've enjoyed this video.